Hurricane Helene touched down in Florida last night. 3 persons killed in Hanover. Beachy Stout will spend the rest of his life in prison, while 2 football players from Dinthill Tech banned for attacking referee. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Hurricane Helene touched down in Tampa last night with wind speed of 140 miles per hour, causing damage and massive flooding. The flooding was so fast that one man said the water rose by feet every minute and he had to swim out of his house as he said the flood reached as high as his roof. He said when he got outside the wind was so strong it tore off his shirt. He said he broke down his neighbor's door when he heard them screaming. He said he gave them a piece of styrofoam to float on and he hopes they make it. He said he found a boat, climbed into it and used a shovel as paddle and rowed until he was rescued. At least 3 persons were reported dead, and Helene has now been downgraded to a storm and is now causing massive flooding in Georgia. In Jamaica, Mayor of Mandeville Donovan Mitchell is expressing concern about the mounds of debris left along the side of the road following drain cleaning exercises. Mayor Mitchell said debris were removed from the drains and simply left on the roadway, blocking the soft shoulders. He said with the current rains, the drains could easily become reclogged and lead to flooding. Blouse and skirt. The man them dig out the drain, claim them cleaning it, but they put the debris and the dirt right on the roadside next to the drain and them gone and leave it. So as soon as the rain come, it go just wash it back into the drain and the drain will need to be clean again so them can get call again and make some more money. Now we wonder if the council or the MP and the contractor are family or them a close friend, because that is the height of stupidity. Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout McDonald will spend the rest of his life behind bars. The almost 70-year-old and his co-convict Oscar Barnes were on Thursday afternoon sentenced to life imprisonment for the July 20, 2020 murder of McDonald's second wife, Tonya. The convicts are to serve 28 years and 11 months before being eligible for parole. Noting that Tonya's murder was a contract killing, the presiding judge said it was the worst of the worst case of murder of an individual. The 32-year-old woman's partially burnt body was found with the throat slashed on a deserted road in Sherwood Forest in Portland. Highlighting the features of the case, Justice Stamp said Tonya's murder was extremely heinous. Tonya's death was accompanied by a high degree of pain and brutality, the judge said, comparing her death to an animal being slaughtered. Painting a picture of the woman's last minute, Justice Stamp said the victim fought for her life, breaking back the seat of her car, kicking out the windscreen, and screamed for her mother. And it was at that point tears began streaming down the face of Tonya's sister. And throughout the hearing, McDonald kept a straight face, while Barnes displayed a smirk. The Court of Appeal is expected to hear submissions today in the appeal of Roisin Barnett, who was convicted for killing a family of 5 in Cocoa Peace in Chapelton in Clarendon 2 years ago. Barnett, who pleaded guilty to killing his cousin and her 4 children in June 2022, is serving 5 life sentences, and he will be eligible for parole after serving 61 years and 8 months in prison. But Barnett has now filed an appeal challenging the severity of his sentence. He contends that the sentence is extreme and that he should have benefited from discounts during the sentence since he had pleaded guilty early in the process. And this criminal killed 31-year-old Kamisha Wright and her children, 15-year-old Kimanda Sept, 12-year-old Sharalee Sept, 5-year-old Rafaela Sept, and 23-month-old Kishane Henry, and is now saying that his sentence is too long. All I can say is, I would love to be the judge on this case. Members of the police and military have stepped up their operational activity in the Craigtown community following a flare-up of gang violence that has claimed the lives of several people. SSP Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps said that the 48-hour curfew imposed in section of Craigtown, Jonestown, and Admiraltown communities earlier this week has now been extended as the police seek to quell the violence. Members of the 110 and the Gaza gangs have been locked in a bloody war over turf. The police yesterday seized an illegal gun and arrested one of 13 men listed as persons of interest. Ian Dacres, otherwise called Lucky, a resident of St. Thomas, was not so lucky as he was captured yesterday during a police military operation in Craigtown, and he was reportedly held in possession of an illegal gun. 4 other persons of interest have surrendered to the Kingston Western Police since Monday. Superintendent Hopeton Nicholson, head of the St. Catherine North Police, said the alleged gunman who was killed in Bellas Gate on Tuesday is a known violence producer. The man has been identified as O'Dane Jamison, otherwise called Magadog, also of Bellas Gate. Jamison is reported to have entered a bar on Tuesday night and shot and killed 20-year-old Jamani Letts, also known as Zungu and Zeng of Cokeridge in Bellas Gate. He was then reportedly set upon by patrons and beaten to death. Superintendent Nicholson said Jamison is a known violence producer from Clarendon, and he has been featured in at least 3 murders and 2 shootings in the past year, most recently being September 7 when he engaged the St. Catherine North Police in a shootout. And someone gave a description of how the citizens deal with Maga Dog, and him said him use blocks and practically flatten his head like a truck just run over it. The Hanover police are getting help from the Major Investigation Division as they probe 3 murders committed in Green Island on Tuesday night. A 61-year-old man was killed in the first incident, followed by a man and a woman killed in a short time later. The murders took place in a place called Harding Hall, a usually quiet community in the Green Island Police Division, which has recently become a challenge for law enforcers. Unconfirmed reports are that all 3 persons were employed at a mega construction site in the parish. In the first incident, laborer Melvin Runtings Davis was shot and killed at his house in Harding Hall about 10:30 p.m. and according to the police, Davis was at home when he was attacked by armed men who opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. Approximately 25 minutes later, a woman and a man were killed at their house. The 2 have been identified as 45-year-old Andre Coley, otherwise called Backhoe, an electrician of Harding Hall, Green Island, Hanover, and 43-year-old Stacey Ann Williams, otherwise called Sandy, a laborer of Shuttlewood in the eastern end of the parish. A police report about 10:55 p.m. that the 2 were at home when men armed with handguns opened gunfire at them. Now on to sports. The Costa Cup, 2 players from Dinthill Technical were banned from all Intersecondary School Sports Association run competitions for a year. A third was banned for 3 Costa Cup games, and the school was placed on 3 years probation following a meeting of the disciplinary committee yesterday. The decisions were handed down following Dinthill Technical 1-all draw against Magrat High on Saturday at Magrat High. Malik White and Shamir Hutchinson have been barred from competing in all ISA run competitions for 1 year effective yesterday, and Tyrese Go has been suspended for 3 games. Reports are that players were involved in a confrontation with the referee after the game, and it was alleged that one of them physically assaulted the official. Any further incident of violence by Dinthill Tech within the next 3 years, they will be barred from all competitions. Meanwhile, there were 3 matches played yesterday in the DaCosta Cup. Mile Gully edged Troy 3-2, Brownstown clapped Abutnat Gallimore 3-0, while Manchester High massacred Mount St. Joseph 5-0. In Manning Cup, Mona High murdered Gainsted High 18-0, Hydel clapped Dunoon 4-1, while St. Catherine walloped Papine 4-0, and Charlie Semmett and Jonathan Grant played out a tame 2-all draw. And if you missed the news on this radio, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.